Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. Well man, we've got a steel wheel knife for review today. It's been a little while since I've had a steel wheel come through. I know, gosh, I haven't bought it in a while, and yeah, here we are. We finally got one on the channel. Now, of course, we do have to say thank you to Steel Wheel and the Apex Pass Around group for the opportunity to check it out. So thank you very much to both of them. Yep, the old Apex, man, they've been keeping me in knives to review, which is pretty cool. But all right, let's talk about this guy. Now, this is the Nutcracker, and I'll just show you the box here real quick, just in case. There's your designator and everything. It's the F24-20. We've got the gray, G10, red standoffs, and N690 blade steel. So very cool. We'll zoom out a little bit. We'll take a look. But there you go. As I said, this one is gray G10. They also have a like an OD green or a darker green with the black stonewash blade. And then there's actually a black G10 with a satin blade. All of them are pretty much the same price. We'll get into that here in just a bit. But there you go. G10. I like the black hardware matching the black blade. That's pretty cool. You guys know I'm digging that. Yes, indeed. See there? You got red standoffs, and you could get away with putting a lanyard on that, especially if you wanted to put a lanyard there. So lanyard fans, no designated lanyard hole, but you know, if you really wanted one, you could definitely put one on those standoffs right there. Open construction, a little bit of red bling. Now there you go. You've got a black washed, not really deep carry pocket clip on there. Stainless as well. Overall, you know, they call it deep carry. There's a couple of things I've noticed in the description of this knife that not so much, but it's okay. It's all right. But anyway, yeah, everything's chamfered really well. Everything's got a nice touch. As you can see there, you got some jimping there with the flipper tab. You do have jimping on the flipper tab, which is done pretty darn well. But everything else, just giving it kind of a quick look over, guys. Yeah, the G10's done really well. We like that for sure. All right, let's get to the blade. Centering, yeah, it's pretty good. Right on. Now, as I said, it is a flipper. Now, you give it a nice flip and it comes out. And I tell you what, you kind of got a chunk of N690 there. So if you, you can fail it easy enough. But I also have kind of give it just kind of a half-hearted flick and it comes right open. So that blade's got some weight to it. So that kind of, I think that plays a part. But there you go. I mean, you don't have to give it a whole lot of effort to flip it out. But just know, you know, it's not one of those, if it goes to the breaking point, yeah, well, that's all right. But once you do flip it out, I really like the sheep's foot. Black stonewashed sheep's foot blade. There you go. You got your steel wheel logo. Choil, let's look at it. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. There you go. Nutcracker, F24, N690. Steel wheel is very notorious for putting their stuff kind of like right in the middle of the blade. Now, I know a lot of people don't really care for that, and I get it. That's all good. There's probably other ways of going about it, but you know, that's just what they do. So, it is what it is. Got a nice swedge there across the top. Almost kind of got a little like rhino horn going on there, which is kind of cool. Got a really nice thick landing pad for your thumb. Really like that. And even so, if you wanted to get out, oh yeah, it's even out as far as, you got a really nice landing pad for your index finger, you know, so you can get a really good grip on this knife. At least I can. I'll say that I can get a really nice grip. And then with the jimping there where the flipper tab was, yeah, that works too. I don't feel like my thumb is being forced back at all. I mean, you can see kind of where my thumb wants to lay. That's just pretty natural. About halfway, but it actually grips really well. And it's not overly aggressive. So, yeah, definitely Definitely digging that. All right, let's get some specs. Let's see what we got here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Woo, pretty much a full 8-inch knife, which is good. They've got 7.99, so you know what's 0.01 between friends, right? Handle, you're looking at about, I'm getting about 4.5. They call it 4.57. Okay, that's good. And then blade, you're pretty much getting a 3.5-inch blade. They call it 3.4, but yeah, it is a little shy. So, and you're pretty much a full cutting edge too, because that's where your handle stops and that's where your cutting edge starts. So yeah, I mean, you pretty much 3.4 on the cutting edge as well. Grip length, we're gonna see here. Now you've definitely got those kind of natural kind of constriction points, if you will, in the handle right here and here. So it does kind of, what you get is what you get, and it's probably, because once you start hanging over the side, you know, that's probably not going to be overly comfortable. I don't think it would be for me. Anyway, I'll just say that. So you're looking at about, 3.25 is what you got for grip length. Now, I will say, for my hand, it works. Okay? It's kind of like the mini Adamas, you know. If there was a larger size of this for larger hands, I bet it would work. You know, just like the large Adamas, the regular size Adamas works for some people and the mini works for others. They've got those natural, you know, kind of restrictive points there, grip points. And yeah, it just kind of, you know, it sets you into a grip, and you can't really get around it. So there is our PM2. Pretty close. Decent. It's pretty much PM2-ish length. So, and then of course we'll throw the bug out. You know, just for the heck of it, I do have the mini Adamas here, so we're going to look at that in comparison as well. Obviously, it's a little bit longer than the bug out. Now, let's try the mini Adamas. See where we're at with that. And so, definitely the steel wheel, the Nutcracker is longer, but you see where I was getting about these two, let's zoom in a little bit, about these natural restriction points. You know, actually, the mini Adamas actually lets you go a little bit further back just because of the angle. You know, this is angled towards the hand, where this is angled away from the hand. And just for the heck of it, what's the grip length on it? Yeah, see, this one we're pushing 3.5, pretty close to 3.75, actually. So I actually do have a little bit of space left over on the mini Adamas, where I'm pretty much fully constricted in this handle. Now, like I said before, it's not uncomfortable at all, but it just does kind of give that restriction point. And there, do you see that? I just closed the mini Adamas. I was looking for an access lock there, but it doesn't work. Not on the steel wheel. All right. Get a weight, grams. 130 grams or 4.6 ounces. It does have a little bit of weight to it, so I would definitely put it in that little bit heavier duty category, and I'll talk about this in a second. Let's do our carry. Look at that real quick. Pretty good in and out of pocket. Not bad. I would not call that a deep carry clip, though. That's just me. About a 1/2 inch, regular, you know. It's nothing exuberant, but it's, you know, it's average. Right about a 1/2 inch. Overall, what do I think? It carried really well, though, too. So, overall, I said there was two things that in the description of this knife I find, not so much. One, the deep carry clip. That's not a deep carry clip. I'm sorry. And it calls it a fast acting blade. Is that what fast flipper? No, not really. It's decent. I wouldn't say it flies out there. You give it a good flip, and yeah, the weight of that blade is going to come out. But would I say fast flipper is one of my selling points? Not really. Not really. But overall, do I like the knife? Yes. Let's just get that out of the way. I do like the knife. It's very comfortable. It's very comfortable in hand. That clip is barely noticeable, we'll put it that way. It's definitely not, I do not call it a hot spot at all. The handle is very comfortable. Great ergos. You have a landing spot there for your index finger, and then the other three just kind of lay in there. But there again, it does have those natural restriction points on the grip. So those of you with larger hands, you know, I would not want to grip the knife like this. If I try, it's not that comfortable because it's kind of forcing your pinky out there. So yeah. So for larger hands, I get it. I'm pretty much taking up all available handle space, comfortable handle space. Let's put it that way. So, love the blade. This thing, yeah, it's a heck of a work knife. Rope, especially at work. You guys know rope is my big thing. And, oh yeah, that sheep's foot blade, that belly, yeah, definitely was working for me. Now, build quality, you know, the build is good. Everything's chamfered. There's no real hot spots that I find. Access to the liner lock is okay. Not great, but it's okay. Not the best, not the worst kind of situation. You've got access there. You do kind of have to dig in a little bit. But, yeah. Overall, yeah. I'm actually digging it, even though I said those two things about the pocket clip and the fast flipper. Yeah, those could be a little bit... I mean, you know, you kind of got to look at it, too, when you're looking at knives. You can pretty much, if it shows, if you see a picture like this, you can pretty much tell it's not necessarily what I consider a deep carry clip. Let's see here. That is a deep carry clip to me. You know, and even there's ones that are much better than that. I mean, there's no, there you go. That's a deep carry clip. Knife disappears there. So, you know, kind of a little bit misleading, if you will. And the other thing is, yeah, the detent, you know, that could be with the size of the blade as well. If they had that detent dialed in to where it did snap out, it might be a little bit too stiff. So, you know, your call. You make the call. Overall, I like the knife. I really do. It worked really well. And if I can take a knife to work and it works for me, then, you know, it's pretty solid. Now, Bowler N690. Now, this is the thing that really surprised me about this knife. And I don't know if it should have. I don't know. But like I said, there's 3 different versions. All 3 sell for right around $110. That surprised me a little bit coming from Steel Will. Yes, I know it's N690 steel. It was just a surprise, you know. Should it have been? I don't know. I did not expect that. Let's say I was expecting, you know, probably 90. That's where I was expecting it to land. And it comes in at 110, you know. Am I hitting it for that? No, not really, because, you know, some people may really like it, and they say it's a fair price, you know. Kind of like people ask me all the time about Finch knives. Are they worth it? Well, they are to me. You know, that's pretty much what I can tell you. $110 for this one. Unfortunately, there's probably a lot more options out there for that are more budget friendly that are just as good at knives. You know what I mean? So, you know, that would be one of those things where you'd really have to make that determination and like that knife. Overall, Blue in the Gang. It's kind of like Cool in the Gang. Remember that? Celebrate? Yeah, anyway. Blue in the Gang. They give it an 8, you know, and I think that's a pretty fair rating. Yeah, it's not a deep carry clip, but I don't, just because it's got not a deep carry clip, I'm not going to knock it for that. I'm going to knock it a little bit on that detent. And, you know, it's not as fast flipping as I think they might think it is. But anyhow, good flip, and it comes out. So, yeah. Yeah, it's a decent knife. Are there probably maybe better options out there in the N690 range? Could be. You know, it's one of those things. But really appreciate the opportunity from Steel Will and the Apex Pass Around to check it out. The Nutcracker, it's a solid knife, guys. It really is. I enjoyed using it very much. Will I add one to my collection? Not one I'm going to be running out to, you know, to add to my collection. We'll just put it that way. But thanks a lot, guys. Greatly appreciate it. As always, like, subscribe, leave me that comment. You know I love talking to you. And until next time, I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.